You've spent 8 hours researching, another 5 hours editing, you've tweaked the thumbnail until your eyes hurt, and you finally hit that publish button. You sit back, heart racing, expecting the views to pour in. 1 hour passes, then 2, then 12. Total views, 3. And let's be honest, one of those was you, and the other was probably your mom. Welcome to the Recipe for Crime. But today, we aren't talking about a cold case from the 1940s. We're talking about the crime of the YouTube algorithm and the brutal struggle every beginner faces, including myself, when they try to build something from nothing. I will share with you everything I faced, all the struggles and how I solved it, and how actually I understand the secret behind being successful as a beginner on YouTube. I promise I'll make this video worth every second of it. Before we get into the heavy stuff, tell me, what was the hardest part about posting your very first video? Was it the fear of judgment or just the technical headache? Let's talk about it in the comments. Starting a YouTube channel in 2026 feels like trying to open a 5-star restaurant in the middle of a desert. You have the best ingredients, the best recipe, but there's no road leading to your door. This is the stage I call the ghost town. It's that period where you feel like you're shouting into a void. Beginners often think the struggle is technical, like not having a 4K camera or a professional studio. But the real struggle? It's mental. It's the discipline to keep cooking even when no one is sitting at the table. Have you ever felt like giving up on a hobby just because the results didn't show up in the first week? That's exactly what YouTube feels like for the first 6 months. One of the biggest poisoned ingredients for a new creator is the comparison trap. You look at a channel with 1 million subscribers, maybe a true crime giant like Bailey Sarian or Mr. Ballin, and you think, why doesn't my video look like theirs? What we forget is that we're comparing our day 1 to their day 1000. They've had years to refine their recipe. They have editors, researchers, and high-end lighting. When you're a beginner, you are the chef, the waiter, the dishwasher, and the janitor all at once. I learned that the struggle isn't that you aren't good enough, it's that you're trying to run a marathon before you've even learned to walk. Now, let's talk about the biggest lie in the YouTube recipe book. You need expensive gear to start. Beginners like myself spend weeks researching cameras, microphones, and lighting kits. They think if they just had that $500 mic, people would finally listen. But here's the cold, hard truth. The most expensive camera in the world can't save a boring story. The struggle isn't the gear, it's the learning curve. When you start using AI tools, you realize that AI isn't a magic button. You have to learn how to speak its language. You have to learn how to prompt, how to pace, and how to edit. How many hours did you spend just trying to figure out your editing software the first time? Was it more or less than 5 hours? For most of us, it's a weekend lost to YouTube tutorials just to learn how to cut a single clip. Then there's the struggle of finding your voice. And I mean that both literally and figuratively. If you're a faceless channel like the Recipe for Crime, you're constantly wondering, is this AI voice too robotic? Does it sound authentic? Will the audience connect with a narrator they can't see? It feels like you're cooking behind a curtain. You're trying to season the story with enough emotion and suspense so that the viewer stays for the whole meal. Beginners often struggle because they try to copy someone else's style. They use the same music, the same tone, the same hooks. But I learned the secret sauce of YouTube is originality. It takes dozens of bad videos before you finally find a style that feels like you. And then there's the chef of YouTube, the algorithm. You can follow the recipe perfectly. You can have a great title, a bright thumbnail, and a fast-paced edit, but sometimes the algorithm just doesn't serve your dish to anyone. This is the point where most beginners, including myself, think to quit. They see 0 views and assume the video is bad. They don't realize that YouTube is testing you. It's seeing if you're a one-hit wonder or if you're a consistent creator. Rejection isn't a sign to stop, it's just the algorithm asking for a more refined recipe. And I always ask myself, if I posted a video today and it got 0 views, would I post another one tomorrow? That's the question that separates the hobbyists from the pros. Friendly reminder, always remember to subscribe, like, and share the video. Maybe this video will help or inspire someone who really needs to know that they are not alone on this journey. So, after all that, how do you stop struggling and start growing? It is a big question I keep asking myself, but I've learned that the secret isn't a viral hit, it's the 1% rule. Instead of trying to make a perfect video, aim to make your next video 1% better than the last. If you improve by 1% every video, in a year, you aren't just better, you're unrecognizable. The struggle ends when your systems begin. Start using templates for your descriptions. Create a style guide for your thumbnails so they look consistent. Here is the most useful advice I can give you. Stop making videos for everyone and start making them for one person. In fact, that's what I do. And when I write a script for The Recipe for Crime, I'm not thinking about millions of viewers. I'm thinking about the one person who loves a dark mystery and a good story. Focus on the retention recipe. Look at your analytics. Where are people dropping off? If they leave in the first 30 seconds, your hook is weak. If they leave in the middle, your meat is too dry. YouTube isn't a mystery, it's a data-driven kitchen. Use that data to season your content. And remember, views are a vanity metric. Subscribers are a community. Engagement is a conversation. Focus on the conversation and the rest will follow. How many of you actually check your audience retention graph? It's the most important tool we have. The biggest crime you can commit on YouTube is giving up right before the breakthrough. Every giant channel you see today once had 0 subscribers. They felt the same frustration, the same technical headaches, and the same 0-view silence. The only difference between them and the people who failed is that they didn't turn off the stove. YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about building a body of work you're proud of. So if you're struggling right now, take a breath. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're in the learning phase of the recipe. If you found this helpful, or if you just needed to hear that you aren't alone in this struggle, hit that like button. It helps this video reach other creators who might be on the verge of quitting today. Thank you for letting me step away from the crime scenes for a moment to share this journey with you. In fact, you can now visit my channel and watch all the videos to see how I improved my channel. We'll be back to our regular recipes for crime in the next video, but I wanted to make sure you knew that behind every mystery we cover, there's a real person working hard to tell it. Subscribe to join our community, stay consistent, and keep cooking. This has been The Recipe for Crime. I'll see you in the next one.